Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Get comfortable.
Yeah.
Let's talk kinks.
Kinks?
Yeah, let's talk kinks. The big O.
Yeah, the big
What
O and
makes
the
you
big
come?
no.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, just things things of that nature. What
Yeah.
gets you off? Go. Let's start with that.
I mean, good head.
Just that. It's just two words. You didn't have a word limit, Emily. You had as many words as you needed to describe.
That's the biggest one. Like, if it's good, like, that's the best thing. I feel like there's a lot of ways to get off from sex and just, a little, like, DJ action.
So what makes up good head?
I don't know.
What is it? What is good head? Describe it. What are some elements that are required for good head?
I don't know. I think just attention to detail. Okay, what Chad said was very simple, but like on point. He was like people tell you what they want. You just have to like be observant.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's true. Like to listen to your partner, their body, their body will tell you a lot of things. And I agree. For me, good head would be the yearn for it, the want for it.
Oh, I mean that's a big part of it too. That's almost not half of it, but that's like a big part of it too. Like the eagerness to do it is like that already like is enough.
That's
if it feels like if it feels like a chore, if it feels like something you have to like ask for, like then it's like immediately like.
Okay, so now I want to tell a story about eagerness and how it in fact was not enough to be like half of being good head. So this is the story. I'm not even going to hide his name. We're just going to full on call him out right here and right now.
You should call him out. He sucks.
I forgot his last name, but his name is Matthew. So the story of Matthew, I think his name is Matthew. Yeah, the story of Matthew was, this is a part of when I first moved to LA. And when I first moved to LA, I don't know if I said this already, but I finally learned the lesson in recent times that not all that glitters is gold. And that being the thing that when I first got to LA, this is how I met Matthew. At a party, I saw the tallest, most handsome guy there, which was him. And I decided, of course, I've got to march right up to him and say hello, which I did. And after I said hello, we exchanged numbers, yada, yada, yada. We find out that we live down the street from each other. This is kind of a story of why I no longer do that. A story of why I don't just march up to the hottest guy in the room and ask for his number or something.
Yeah,
this
that
story
doesn't mean
right
that
here.
they'll be good at head.
Not that just they won't be good at head, but just not that they'll be, like a person that you want to know just because they're the most attractive person in the room.
Yeah.
Does not make them an interesting person.
Definitely not.
Like that in and of itself is not enough. Being the most attractive person in a room, no. But back to Matthew. So we go and we find out that we live down the street from each other. So we're like, oh, we gotta grab drinks or whatever. We go and grab drinks, whatever. Then we come back home. And this is when Emily and I were living together, right?
Yeah, I think I met him, right?
Briefly. But the most important thing about us going out and grabbing drinks was him stating that he will give me the best head I have ever had.
See, like, that already would just be so weird if a guy said that on the first date. I would immediately be like, what? Like, first of all, you're being a little presumptuous. Second, like, thinking I want you to do that.
Well, he was being super, like, I will admit we were being flirty the whole time. He was being pretty, like, laying it on heavy already during the entire conversation, just like, oh, the things I'd do to you. Like things of that nature. I don't know if he said those words exactly, but it felt like that would be something that he would say. Right, so he was already, like, laying it on hot and heavy, where it's like, okay, no problem. Like, I find him as a very attractive man. That's why I approached him in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So this didn't really bother me that much. It was more, like, it's fine. Like, sometimes it's hot. You know what I mean? For someone, sometimes it can be hot.
No, sometimes it totally.
But his mannerisms were off. You remember meeting him, right? His mannerisms. Right? He seemed like he was gay, which there's no problem with.
Yeah,
but
he did kind of give off that vibe.
Yeah, it seemed like he was overcompensating, right? That he was like kind of like he was being okay. You didn't see that side of him, but it felt like he was overcompensating and trying to force this attraction to me almost. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat you up, and like where it just didn't feel right coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Like it just already it was kind of like I wasn't, I was kind of like my attraction to him was diminishing as the night was progressing. Like that was kind of where we were at.
Yeah.
So by this time I'm still thinking about this head though. Like after he said that line, I'm like, I'll give you the chance.
I at least need to. I need to entertain it.
If you're gonna investigate.
If you're gonna sell it so hard.
Right. So I was like, I've got to investigate. Anyways, we retire back at home. We're all there together. I think finally you go off to bed, and we're kind of like making out on the couch, whatever. And I was just like, oh yeah, like bring it back to the room, like you gotta go.
Where the magic happens.
Yeah, this was a while ago, so I don't really remember what was said, whatever. But we retired to the bedroom, and once we're in the bedroom, he immediately the next thing I remember is he's eating me out, and something about the way that he ate me out. This was the worst head in my entire life, by the way. Just need to first start off with that. This was the worst head I've ever gotten in my entire life. Was I immediately disappointed? Yes, I was. But the next thing that happened was before I even get to the next thing, I need to describe a little bit about why this is the worst head ever. He made me feel like I needed to pee.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. And I had never, felt that before, and then someone else gave me head, and I felt it once, and I was like, oh my god, what is that?
I think it's a certain kind of, motion or something that he was doing. It was maybe it was, it was just something.
Yeah.
It was irritating. As opposed to pleasurable. You know what I mean? I felt like I was irritated. And no, to the people who are listening who are like, you're probably just about to squirt. No, that is not what it was.
Well, that's also, that's supposed to be, more like the G-spot, right?
Yeah, that's an entirely different sensation. No, I've had that sensation in the past, and it's it's not it. So, basically, worst head in the world.
Yeah, well, that's why I always say, if a guy advertises that he's really good at head, he's probably not good at head. It's always the sneaky sneaks, the quiet ones,
same thing in bed. No, the same thing applies to in bed. People who go around talking about oh, I'm so good in bed are never good in bed. I've definitely encountered that on multiple occasions. But this felt too. I just wanted it because nobody's been I give the best head. You know what I mean? Is into my face like that. Sure, sometimes people will send it in text or this, but this was dead in the face. Girl, I will give you the best head you've ever had. You know, and I was just kind of oh my, if this is the best head, I could really use some really good head right now. So I was thinking with the wrong part of my body.
I mean, you always could.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, so worst head in the world. I was definitely not squirting. This was not the sensation of squirting.
Yeah.
I've had it before, and at that time when I squirted, I thought I pissed myself, but it was it was oh, I just peed. It was not I need to pee, oh my god, you're making me want to pee. It was just kind of oh my god, I orgasmed, and somehow there's all this extra stuff coming with it, or something of the sort,
Yeah.
But anywho, back to him giving head. So it sucked. It felt like I needed to pee. I was not squirting. And then what do I do to get out of this situation? I should really learn not to do this. I feel like you kind of taught me not to do this, but I faked an orgasm. I was just how do I get him to stop? Because I was kind of slowly tugging on him. You know, he was in between my lips, but I was kind of pulling on his arm, trying to get him to get him to resurface, and just give me a kiss, or let's just move on to sex, or let's move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
I was literally let's move on to anything but that.
Yeah.
So he comes up because he thinks that he gave me an orgasm, and then he goes, so how did I do? And he sits up all perky on the bed.
Did he really say it like that?
Yeah, he really did.
No way.
With a gust of with gusto. You know what I mean? So how did I do? So freaking proud of himself. And in that moment, I thought he was kidding. I thought it was a joke. You know what I mean? So how did I do? I thought it was all right, he's kidding. All right, let's have sex now. And then I pull him again. I pull him towards me. What happens? Freaking, he's no. Really, how did I do? Rate me from 1 to 10. And I said no because I didn't want to. I laughed. I was kind of like, haha, no, come on, like let's do the next thing. Let's move on. Move on from this.
It's a fucking weird ass question to ask.
Yeah, I was like, because in my head I was like, okay, we can still come back from this. Like this is something we can work on.
Exactly.
Like it's fine. Like let's just move on. You know, maybe there's other departments that he's better at. Whatever. I was willing to give it a chance, but no, this guy's like freaking raped me. So what do? I was like, all right, honestly, and he's like, yeah, honestly, how did I do? I told him 4.
Oh.
Yeah, just like that, 4. And his reaction was, seriously? And I was like, yeah, like, you told me to be honest with you. And then he immediately jumps off of my bed and just like that, like rushing to get dressed. Like, I need to, like, you know, like. Just,
no, I remember hearing him storm out. I think I was still awake. And I was like, did he just storm out?
He storms, like, he, like, runs to the door or whatever, and I didn't stop him. I didn't even, like, try to stop. Like, no,
yeah,
wait.
That's fucking weird.
No, I wasn't even like, no, wait. I was just kind of like, all right, well, bye. And I kind of just, like, locked the door after him. And then 5-10 minutes later, he freaking, like, texts me an essay of, like, I can't believe you. Like, no woman's ever treated me this way and so disrespectful. And I'm like, bro, I didn't even respond to that. I was like, there's no response. That, like, this does not need a response.
Yeah,
and then he, like, texts me again. And then, like, tries to, like, FaceTime me. Or, like, a ton of, like, and then I was just like, oh, my God, guy. Like, don't you remember we, like, FaceTimed? He, like, FaceTimed me one time afterwards, like, a few days later.
I guess.
Yeah. So, anywho, that Matthew was his name, y'all. Just in case you didn't hear it the first time. But fucking, like, what was that? What was that? Like, you could have, like, what? Am I like, I just forget. This world is filled with so many different people. Like,
well, the thing is, like, also, if somebody told you that you were a 4 at giving head, I feel like the next move, if you really, I don't know, you were attracted to them, would be like, okay, so what do you like trying to like figure it out.
Yeah, to like ask or like, you know, just kind of be like, oh shit.
I mean, maybe he was mad that you faked an orgasm.
But would it have been more rude for me, or would it have been less rude for me to be like, yo, stop, this feels fucking awful. Should I have done that instead? Like, bro, like, I don't even want you to give me head. Like, I should have just kicked him out right then and there. God, I'm such a softie. I should have just been like, all right, stop what you're doing. Fucking put your clothes on and get out of my house. Because if you are that delusional and you think that you're good at fucking head, then pack up your shit and
I'm
leave.
sorry to tell you that probably all those other girls that said that never complained or whatever, like, probably had faked it at some point.
Yeah, or is it like, is he actually really good and it just wasn't doing it for me? Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe what he was doing would have felt nice if we progressed to it. You know what I mean? Now that I'm thinking about it, because, oh, you good?
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like taking like a very like intense vibrator to yourself when you're like not in the mood. Have you ever done something, like, accidentally done something like that or something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's just kind of like jarring rather than pleasurable. But if you worked up to that, like, speed or vibration, it's like nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I definitely, I feel like that's one key to like an orgasm is like just build up. Like, I don't like when guys come in all like too hot, too fast, like with like tongue movement or finger movement or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I feel like build up
it's
like
everything. Like,
and I feel like that could bring me faster to an orgasm than like getting straight into the down and dirty. For
exactly. Because then you get to that point where it's like fucking intense and like it's just awesome. But like when there's build up, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like that would also be a nice way to kind of like preserve the spice. Like, I can kind of understand sleeping in separate bedrooms now. Like, in this exact moment, like, my head just clicked and like it made sense sleeping in separate bedrooms.
I mean, I feel like having the option to would be nice. Like, because I feel like sometimes I like sleeping in bed with someone.
Yeah, but is it like each having your own bedroom, but it's like not weird to be like, oh, like I'm gonna crawl into your bed tonight. You know what I mean? Whereas like, can I come sleep over? Like, can I come sleep at yours, or do you want to come over to mine? Like,
like a college dorm situation.
Yeah. Like, the kids can't know that mommy and daddy share a bed. Yeah, but no, I feel like that would keep some of the mystery alive. Because it's kind of like, you know what I mean? When you're like husband or you, and you're just like watching TV in bed and you're being full like sloth gross mode. Sometimes your husband doesn't need to see that. Sometimes you can retire to your own bedroom. Like, I can watch my show, he can watch his, and we can be like all disgusting and like eating in bed, like separated from each other. And sometimes you can do it together. You know what I mean? But like,
well, I think that's why people, like rich people, have like man caves and like dens and like.
Well, I know a couple that sleeps in like a separate bed. So like they have 2 beds in a bedroom. But like I think that's because
in the same bedroom?
Yeah, in the same bedroom. 2 beds. I don't know if that's weirder than having like 2
I
bedrooms.
feel like I don't know if that's weirder or not. I don't know which one's weirder. That's kind of weirder.
Right? It's like, why the fuck would you have 2?
Like,
or just like, why not make a giant bed? Like, why not? Like,
just have a giant bed at that point. That's just
like, why like have 2 separate beds?
Because I feel like the whole point of the whole benefit of having the separate room is like having your own separate space where you can kind of like, I don't know, just
be you, like be.
Just be.
Have your Eunice around there. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely think that that's weirder. Having 2 separate beds
in the same room, because I would just want to sleep in the same bed then. At that point, like what?
Well, I don't know. I feel like we think that now, but like sleeping next to someone for 20 frickin' years, like.
Yeah, I guess you really have to like them.
Yeah, but like sometimes people have weird sleep things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They do like weird sleep things. Like, sure, it's nice. Like,
I feel like I don't have too big of a problem with that because I'm a really heavy sleeper.
Yeah.
So.
But maybe they have a problem with like how you sleep. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
then I guess they can't hang.
Yeah, because like I know that I'm a kicker. That's
really?
For sure. Like, I don't know if I've kicked guys necessarily. No guys told me that. But definitely I know, like, growing up, my mom's told me that, like, I'm a serious kicker. And then 23andMe, when I got my DNA results back, one of the traits I have is having restless legs. I'm apparently very active in my sleep, according to my genes. I'm likely to be extremely active in my sleep. Dude, I think I get a lot of exercise in while I sleep. I think, like, that is actually where the secret is. Like, Mackenzie, how do you stay thin? Is I think I get a lot of exercise in when I'm asleep. No joke. I'm serious.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
I'm not kidding, like, because when I was growing up in high school, my mom, like, said hello to me once when I was sleepwalking to the bathroom. So apparently I sleepwalk to go to the bathroom every night. And I, like, come out, and they'll be like, why are you awake? And then clearly I have, like, a sleep-talking conversation with them. They're like, oh, shit, she's actually sleep-talking. Then they realize, and I go and pee and everything. They're like, yeah, you go and pee, you wash your hands, and you, like, go off to bed again. Like, I was like, that's great, because a lot of people wake up in the middle of the night to go pee. Do you wake up?
Sometimes.
Where are we at?
I mean, we're talking about, like, what gets you off. We're talking about head. Oh, okay. One of the things that I was thinking about it that you mentioned before, about, like, the eagerness to do it, I feel like is such a big part of it. Like, I mean, I already kind of told you about that, but, like, that one time that Malcolm 2.0 was, like, when he was, like, he, like, went down on me, and then he was like, do you think you could come again? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And he was like, I think I'm going to try to get you to come again.
Okay.
And then he went down on me again and got me to come again. And then he tried to go for a third time, like, eating me out, obviously. And I was like, oh, what? Like, I swear, eagerness to do it, it was a little too sensitive at that point. At that point, the third time, I was like, okay, like, I think I've had enough. But, like, I don't know, just eagerness to do it, like, wanting the yearning to do it is such an important part of it.
Like, honestly, to this
I feel
day,
like because women also are so, like, I don't know. I feel like we are different in the sense of, like, so much of it is. I mean, I guess guys are also a little bit like that, but I feel like it's so mental too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To this day, I have not found anybody who can do it like my high school boyfriend could. Yeah. As in that yearn, that desire, that like animalistic.
Yeah, the primal need. That's such a big part of it. Like,
but it's like beyond. It's not just like this could be anyone. This is like a you, like my yearn for you and you alone kind of feeling that you gave me. Like since that, I have not found that. Like there have been people that have come close. It's like, okay, you have this like eagerness, this desire, but there was some like, to be honest, I still like. I hope you're listening to this, high school boyfriend. Like, honestly, sometimes I'm still masturbating to the thought of him and the sex we would have back in high school. That shit was hot. And, you know, it was a different kind of love, that, like, puppy love that
yeah, guys, you know you're in a girl's head if she's masturbating to you.
Oh,
like,
but I feel like I masturbate to quite a few people.
I don't know. Like, there's some that don't really make the cut. There's a lot that don't make the cut in my fantasies.
Boyfriends, like I think I'm over somebody when I stop masturbating to them. Like I don't do it to my college boyfriend or my previous boyfriend anymore. I've only had 3 boyfriends, so I only do it to my high school boyfriend out of all the boyfriends I've had. But yeah, like I don't know. I think that there are many hot scenes, like, recently. Okay, I don't want to get into that, actually. But, I do want to tell this funny story of TikTok. So, I was on TikTok Live.
We're TikToking about it again?
Yeah, we're TikToking about it, just real quick. A quick little digression over here. I digress, yeah. But, basically, I was on Live, and then this guy changed his profile name to Mac Whale's daddy, which is already like, all right, I see you, I get it. Like,
wait, okay,
and then
continue first.
He changed his profile picture to my high school boyfriend's picture. This is like the very first picture on my Instagram, and then he messages me, "I miss you," and like, bro, that so psychologically hit me.
Yeah,
like I was just kind of like that stunned me, and then I was like, all right, good
the woman
job
was
to
too stunned to speak.
That exactly. Oh my goodness.
Wait, okay, that also actually brings up another thing that I was thinking. What are your thoughts on like saying daddy in like a sexual in a sexual situation? Is it a yay or a nay?
I've only done it
hot
once.
Or not.
I've only done it once, to be completely like I've only done it with one person. Only one person's asked me to do that, and it has not broken the session. You know what I mean? I did not get turned off by it. I feel like there's been a couple instances where somebody's said that or it slipped or something during sex and it was not hot.
Yeah, I think I threw it out one time. Like,
wait, you threw it out and it was not asked for?
Yeah.
Who was this?
Chad.
Did he think it was hot?
I mean, it was like a good. I mean, it was, but I think he did say he thought it was hot, but he was also like, it makes me think you have daddy issues. Which I was like, I mean, you're not wrong.
So did you have the yearning? Did you want to call out daddy in that instance?
I think so. I mean, it was good sex. It just
I've
felt
never
right.
had that. I've never had I want to scream daddy right now. Like, I thought it was weird. When the guy first asked me to do it, I thought it was a little bit odd. Like, to want to be called daddy is a little bit weird. Because, like, how he would also get into it, this is Harold, by the way, how he would also get into it is also like, oh, you're my little girl. Like, who's my little girl? Tell me you're my little girl. And to be honest, I've never been a dirty talker during sex. It's more just like moans, groans, and what is it? Cursatives?
I feel like I'm not very good at dirty talking back, but I kind of appreciate it if a guy is kind of good at dirty talking to me. Like,
I prefer sex noises. Honestly, I prefer just like uncontrollable like whines and moans are way hotter than like saying things to me.
Yeah, it's too thought out that it's weird.
Yeah, it's like if you're just like saying things to me like, oh yeah, like you like I don't know. There's been times when I've been having sex with someone that I didn't really know and it was just a huge turn off. Like, oh, do you like that?
Oh, well,
yeah, you like that, right?
Okay, that's also a big thing. If you don't really know them and so you probably don't really like that. And it's like, okay, you're getting a little cocky. Pun intended.
Yeah, no, just
getting a little cocky with your cocky.
Yeah, when they're like, oh, like, you like that, don't you?
It's like, no, sir, I actually don't like that.
Yeah, it's like, no, I will tell you if
I will tell you if I like it.
If you're asking, we already have a freaking problem.
Yeah, we have Houston, we have a problem. You have to ask me if I like it. You will know.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, no. The daddy thing, oh my God. But here, since we're talking about like kind of like kinks or certain things in bed, right? Oh my God. I never knew I liked this, but fingers in my mouth.
Oh, that's kind of, yeah.
Like,
it's kind of a vibe.
It's like more and more a vibe. Like, it's like, before I would think that it's like demeaning or just like kind of like, get your hand, like, why do I want your hands in my mouth? Gross. But like, I don't know. Now,
and you like suck on it a little bit?
Yeah, now like sucking on fingers. Oh my God. I almost bit off a guy's finger during sex.
Was this Harold?
Yeah. So I was on top and it was just like getting hot and I was like really, I was close. I was close to climax and there was a finger in my mouth and I guess I was like slightly biting down on it, you know, just like holding it in my mouth, you know, like, but I think that as I was getting closer to climax, my grip, my what is it when you bite? My bite was getting harder and harder.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I was about to come, but he told me to stop. Like, he had to tell me that his finger was hurting. Like,
I'm sure you could have at least like
yeah, he
broken
told me.
skin.
Exactly. Afterwards, he told me, he was like, I was worried in that moment that I was going to lose a finger. I was like, well, that'd be kind of hot, but I don't know.
It's just like a finger in your mouth, just like loosely bit through the bone and everything. Dude, I kind of like slapping guys in the face.
Really? I've never slapped a guy in the face. It's kind of during
fun.
Sex. Really?
It has to be some really like intense sex though. Like it can't be like that lovey, like sensual sex. 'Cause then it's weird. Then it doesn't fit with the vibe. But if it's like kind of aggressive, like
like
rough sex, then like just a little like in the face, like that's kind of hot.
I've never done.
I think who taught me that I like that? That was
that astronaut guy, right? That NASA
No.
guy?
It wasn't him. It was
college boyfriend.
Yes.
College boyfriend.
What should his name be?
I don't think that you need to give him.
I guess I don't need to give him a name. He doesn't need any screen time.
College boyfriend.
College boyfriend. Yeah.
Right. Like
I guess you could figure it out if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Go find out.
Go find out who my college boyfriend was and get back to me. But he taught me that he was a horny little fuck, okay? Dude, I hope you listen to this.
I can tell. Honestly,
you're a horny little fuck.
Ones.
It is the quiet ones. It's the unassuming ones. It's the ones that don't flaunt like sexual energy like explicitly as soon as they meet you. Those are the ones that are freaks. It's true. The whole like, oh, like she's kind of shy. She must be a freak. Like,
dude, that's why I don't think honestly. Oh yeah, this is what I want. I think I'm bad in bed, bro. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. I think I'm bad in bed. Like. Up until very, very recently. Like, I lost my virginity at, like, 13. I've been having sex for 12 years. Of those 12 years, I want to say in the last year, I started getting on top.
Damn, girl.
So, of 12 years of sex, I've only had 1 year where I actively participated. You know what I mean? Like, sure, like, blowjobs isn't, but I'm just saying, like, during sex, I was very much so a pillow princess. Like, I'm a small girl. The guy I dated in high school would just throw me around. Like, bam, all right, it's time for the table. Boom, like throwing you over my shoulder. Boom, you know, like picking you up, this and that. I was very much so a very malleable, like tiny girl. This guy was like over 6 feet, freaking captain of the rugby team, like humongous guy. And I think I barely was like up halfway I came up to like half of his chest or something like that. So this dude was like freaking huge, right?
Yeah.
That was the guy I lost my virginity to. Never really had to lift a finger. He had this yearn. Like every single time we had sex, he initiated it. Like this was how I thought sex was, where a guy is just like cannot live without you.
Dude, I feel like a lot. I've also been conditioned like that. If a guy doesn't act like that, like when in terms of sex, or just honestly in terms of just like if we're dating, like if they're not like just like. Yeah, if they don't yearn for me, if they're not, like, obsessed with me, like, I don't know. I don't know how to act, because I'm like, I don't know how to read you otherwise. I don't know how to...
The problem with college boyfriend for me, he didn't have that. You know what I mean? Because he was such a, like, laid-back guy and everything.
Yeah,
like,
I guess college boyfriend wasn't... but, I don't know, he showed it in different ways.
It was there,
but it was, like, also, like, fuckboy.
Yeah, it was, like, not the right kind of, like,
it wasn't
yearning.
the right kind of yearning. It wasn't hubby kind of yearning.
Like, don't get me... I've loved college boyfriend in the sense that Sex with him was great. 3 years. That's low key. I honestly think that I dated the guy for 3 years because I was like, this is pretty good sex. I wasn't able to really find anybody that could hold a candle to my high school boyfriend. I was like, this is the closest I've gotten. Let's lock this shit down.
That's another thing. Good sex will keep you around. Like, good sex will keep a woman around. She will not leave.
Well, I also think that I agree, but then at some point,
there's a lot of trash out there. There's a lot of trash sex out there.
There is. But also, like, good sex can only go so far.
Exactly. No, it can't. It can't fix, like, if there's major problems in terms of compatibility and like.
No, like, college boyfriend seems so much happier now with his current girlfriend. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, that's like the girl. I'm not even hurt by it. Where it's like, oh, I'm hurt, this and that. It's just I knew when we were together that this was out of convenience. We enjoy having sex with each other. Our friends are all friends with each other. We're always in the same room. We can't keep our hands off of each other. Well, we might as well date, quote unquote. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it kind of came to one of those things. But yeah, I feel like you had a tumultuous, like, college relationship.
Yeah, I mean,
we stopped being friends because of that for a minute.
Did we?
Yeah.
I guess we did.
Yeah, it was like no, it was tumultuous, the two of you guys. So is mine, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it was just like, it was such a like fucked up thing because like he was like just
he was being a fuckboy, dude.
Yeah,
he was being a total douchebag and I didn't like it.
And he was just like on drugs all the time.
Yeah.
And that was a really big thing, and it felt like one of those things where I couldn't fix him, but I just like still loved him and still like wanted to like have something. But then he also was like trying to see other people and like I don't know, I just feel like I was always a lot more like dedicated to that, but like he didn't want to do that, and I think ultimately we both knew that it wasn't gonna last for the long term.
It's also because I feel like for him this particular situation, like we don't have to go deep into unpacking this, but just with him I feel like he hadn't experienced enough. You were kind of like the first real experience he had. So
I know, I was only the third person he had sex with.
Exactly. So at that point, when you're in college, you don't want to be locked down.
Yeah,
you feel like you just gained your manhood. You know what I mean? And it's like now you're trying to like, I don't know, like captivate. Well, not captivate, you know, like encapsulate it with your love. But I don't know, it's interesting times. Like, I think that we should definitely go in depth about cheating. I think that's going to be our next episode. Let's talk all about cheating. Yeah. I think that's a good thing.
Because I feel like, we both have some, like, different things to talk about with cheating.
Yeah, like being the one that cheated and being cheated on, all of the different... Being a person that somebody else cheated on their person with. All of those things we'll unpack. So join us next time.
Yeah. I guess, like, to wrap this up, give your girls good head. Give your girls good sex. Ask them what they like. Communicate.
Yeah,
Communication. It all goes back to communication.
No, definitely. I think that...
Whether that's picking up on physical body cues or just asking.
Talk about it.
Hey, do you like this?
I think
do you like it? It's like,
no, outside of sex. Talk about it outside of sex normally, not in your sex voice. But honestly, I think talk. I feel like of my 12 years, I didn't really do much talking.
I feel like some people also get, like, weird about talking about it. Like, they're like, oh, this is kind of ruining the mood. And I don't think it needs to. Like, I think it can be, like, incorporated as, like, part of, like, foreplay or, like, part of, like, a good sex relationship if you make it. But if you get awkward and uncomfortable as soon as you talk about what you actually enjoy during sex, then that's kind of a problem. Like, you should be able to, like, have fun with it.
Well, I think some people are, like, still have not gotten to that point. Like, I think it literally took me 10 years to be kind of comfortable.
I guess it's kind of true. I feel like I used to be a little more uncomfortable talking about sex and what I like.
No, in high school, you kidding me? If I didn't like something, I'd just be like,
I guess I'll just grin and bear it. Like,
yeah, you just bear it until it's like, or you like discreetly try to move on to the next thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You're just kind of like, oh, let's do this now.
Yeah, I'm getting a foot cramp. Like, I've definitely done that. Oh, like I'm cramping like this.
My hip is cramping a little. Can we just
Yeah, let's move around. But we were wrapping this up.
Oh, right, I know.
Not make this another hour. So thank you all for tuning in. I feel like there's still more to talk about in terms of kinks and the big O.
Oh, there's still so much more to talk about. I feel like we barely scratched the surface.
We didn't.
We barely scratched that itch.
I know. I was going to say my itch has not been scratched.
Still wanting more. I'm still yearning for more.
Exactly. But men out there, make your women feel special. Yearn for it.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that is such a big thing. Like, we just want to feel wanted. We just want to feel cared about and important and loved. And if you can't do that, then let somebody else do it. Get out of the way.
Yeah. So with that, we'll leave you with that. Goodbye, all.
Goodbye.